Why the fuck are they showing me watches?
Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 56. We're going over matchups. We're knocking out a lot of these episodes really fast here. But, as always, go check us out on YouTube. Give us a subscribe on there. Follow us on Instagram at AverageBros_Fantasy Football. Like, subscribe, do all that. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts app. You know the deal. Links are down below. Okay. Episode 56. We're going matchups. In this episode, we're going to go through as many as we can. We're for sure going to go over to Baltimore, Buffalo, Green Bay, Washington, Houston, Denver, New Orleans, San Francisco, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Carolina, Minnesota, Detroit, New York Jets, Miami, and we'll try and do more, but those are for sure will be in this episode. So,
100.
That being said, 100.
100. Say less.
What happened there? We lost.
Say less. Oh, it's my left ear only.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I did.
I don't know what you did either.
I hope.
I think it's just the music, though.
Yeah, hopefully.
So,
all right, I'll work on that while we do this episode.
We'll turn the music off fast so we can hear.
Average Bros. Yeah, this is all good. Regular. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's start. We got Baltimore taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Lamar Jackson. What do you guys think? I think you're obviously playing Lamar Jackson. We don't have to sit here and talk about that. But I feel like he's matchup proof, obviously. Are you playing Mark Ingram?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Buffalo's actually not that good against the run. They're good against the pass, but they're just subpar against the run. And we've seen it's just the touchdown every week with that offense given with Ingram. I mean, you're not benching him.
Yeah, he's getting a ton of carries inside the 5
and he gets 10. Receiving game work too.
Yeah.
So yeah, not benching Ingram. I'm not fucking around this week.
Yeah.
I'm here for fucking titles and that's it.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, like I said, and Mark Ingram down him up.
Yeah.
I think the questions would be Marquise Hollywood Brown and then Mark Andrews. I think Hollywood Brown should see a shadow from Tre'Davious White. He's pretty good.
Fix it.
Yeah, but he is pretty good. I just wonder how. I don't know. Like I'm just kind of wondering because I know Marquise Brown is more of that like shorter, shifty guy.
Yeah.
If like that kind of gives him problems, or is he kind of like is he better against the shorter, shifty guys and he struggles against guys like Parker and who's Galladay?
Bigger body guys.
Bigger body guys. That's kind of one thing I was kind of just wondering. I was looking at that matchup earlier. Can't log into Pro Football Focus to look at some of his measurables, but well.
I think you know what it is I think it's too hit or miss for me, to be honest, with Marquise Brown with this far into the season. I kind of been repeating myself with these past couple episodes, but I just am not I'm not going to be playing these guys that aren't very safe.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough upside to throw them in my lineup.
Yeah, I'm
unless
with
I'm
you
in a
on that.
pinch.
He's like a boom bust guy.
Yeah, he's just boom
He could
bust.
boom for you, but he could get you
Nothing.
a bust game. For
Yeah,
sure.
he could literally get
he
you
could
3.
lose you your playoffs very
for sure.
easily.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those matchups to where, this is expected to be Lamar Jackson throwing for 300 yards. He might run for 150. He might only throw for 90. Yeah. So like if he throws for 90, then it's like, all right, well then you're probably upset with Marquise Brown.
He's about to beat Michael Vick's record. He's like 73 yards away for like most rushing yards in one season or something.
You okay over there, bro?
Yeah, I
just
had
fucking
a
do a line and we.
I thought I had the fucked up nose.
Nah, I had a booger and I wiped it and I can't. It disappeared. So that's like as it's on my face. I'm not trying to record this whole podcast.
Where do boogers go? Like think about it.
I eat a lot of them.
Like they just like disappear. It's like where do all those boogers that are picked like go?
Ghost boogers.
I don't know. They're biodegradable for sure, probably.
So are we breathing in boogers constantly?
We're naturally composting them back into the earth.
Yeah, like all that dust on your desk? It's really boogers.
Yeah. It looks like popcorn, but it's just gigantic boogers.
Gigantic boogers. All right, back to football.
Yeah.
We said we all agree on that. Who were we talking about? Who's the Andrews?
Mark Andrews.
I was like, who's the Andrews?
Mark Andrews is. I think you got to play him.
Yeah, I mean you got to play him. I mean, fuck. Do you have to?
The Bills been pretty tough.
That's what I'm saying.
The tight end
do we have
only giving up 40 receptions. That's the second fewest, and only giving up 2 touchdowns to the tight end position as well. But I feel like he's kind of like, I know Marquise Hollywood Brown is there, but I feel like Mark Andrews is kind of like the main passing option in the offense.
I'm just trying to look at like some of his previous stats. I mean, even in like the tough matchup against San Francisco, still 3 for 50 and a touchdown. Yeah, I'm still playing him. Just looking at, against the Rams, 2 for 45, 4 for 75, 6 for 53, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns in those 4 games. I think he just offers a safe yardage and safe floor for a tight end, which you don't get, even though it is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably have to have, like a Waller to start over him, or like.
What about like a Vance Stance? You just going to take the stream of how bad the Cardinals have been? Because the Bills, they are pretty stingy against the tight end position.
I think I'd still go with Andrews because we just touched on too. I think Tre'Davious White could take away Marquise Brown, and it's he does lean on him in this matchup, and you see a safe floor. I think I'd just go, even though the Cardinals are so bad, it's kind of like you got Duck Hodges, and it's a little bit of a question mark for me right there.
Yeah, I think I'd be going Vance Stance over him. What about like a Jack Doyle or Mark Andrews?
Jack Doyle.
I think I'm going Jack Doyle.
I go Doyle.
If T.Y. Hilton's out, for sure, Jack Doyle. But maybe if he's in there.
Would you have gone Mark Andrews or who we just talked about?
Vance.
Vance
I'd play
Stance.
Vance. Yeah. I didn't even have to think about that.
All right. Well, there we
Yeah.
go. Ravens defense. I mean, they've been pretty nasty lately.
Yeah.
So I know Josh Allen and the Bills are playing well, but he's still they're going to get a couple sacks. They're going to do what they need to do to score some points. So, and they're always like Peters is just looking for like pick sixes nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffalo side, Josh Allen.
I think you're dialing up
play it.
Josh Allen. He still offers that rushing upside
Yeah.
each and every week. So
What's his lowest scoring game of the year? I know it was the Patriots. That's it. I think, but it was like still like I don't know if it was that bad.
So this is actually, I didn't bring this up when we were talking about quarterbacks on the start sit Q&A episode, but I have Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, and I'm playing Josh Allen over Kyler Murray. Just because I look at it like this: whose defense am I scared more of? Low-key, I'm a little bit more scared of the Steelers' defense than the Ravens' defense.
It's not a homer pick.
And Josh Allen, even though they're both rushing quarterbacks, I feel like Josh Allen's more proven to be able to play pretty well in like harder games versus Kyler Murray's still kind of. I mean, he's a rookie. You know what I mean? I'm going to trust someone
he's been turning it on a lot lately. Kyler Murray
put up like 5 points last week.
Was it last week? Maybe. I was looking at points before that. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
wait, what was it again?
It's Kyler Murray or Josh Allen.
Probably going.
I'm going.
Going Josh Allen.
Yeah, I have Josh Allen. I'm leaning Josh Allen, but I'm like that's just a kind of a weird situation. But I don't think it's the sexiest week for Josh Allen.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Would you rather play like a Sam Darnold or like something like an upside of that, like a Baker Mayfield over Josh Allen?
Maybe.
I think I'm playing both those guys over Josh Allen.
Yeah, probably.
That's hard. With the rushing upside, I think I might still go Josh Allen, actually.
For sure. Running back wise, I mean, I think it's Devin Singletary, and that's it. You can run on the Ravens, nothing crazy. They've given up 11 rushing touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry on the ground. So Devin Singletary is kind of like an explosive home run guy. He gets used in the passing game as well. So I do like him. You're not starting Frank Gore in this matchup, though, are you? Negative. And then
Like
then it goes to the receivers, Smokey John Brown. Mike's dying over here.
Oh, right in the microphone.
You good there, buddy?
I was choked on water. They said water's the essence to life.
It's also
Feels
the
like
taker of
essence to
life.
death right now.
All right, so you got
yeah.
Smokey Brown, and then you got Cole Beasley, the
I think
Beasles.
both of these guys are good. You play both of these guys. Dude, I'm dying. Yeah, I could play both of these guys.
I know Smokey Brown had a bad game last week, but I think, with how consistent he's been all year, it'd be tough to bench a guy who's pretty much getting, double-digit fantasy points each and every week.
Okay, PPR, I like either one of these guys.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one in a standard, I'd pick John Brown. But
I mean,
I
I'd
think
take John Brown over Beasles, but even John Brown, I could maybe get away from him this week. It is kind of a tougher matchup for them. Like, even for Josh Allen, I'm kind of just looking at his numbers. His passing yards does take a dip when he plays tougher defenses. The few tougher defenses he's played, he's been under 200 yards. Baltimore, just in their last 3 alone, 155 through the air. If you have some good options, I think you can get away from Smokey. I just don't. I don't think there's huge upside this week.
Yeah.
And if I need an upside type of flex play, he's more of a flex play. But if I'm gonna shoot for an upside, I'm gonna go a flex play. I'm gonna go someone with a little more upside.
would you play Pascal or Smokey Brown?
Smokey?
I think I'm going Pascal.
See, like that. It sounds kind of weird, but he's been pretty fantasy relevant for a while especially since T.Y. Hilton's been out. He's been kind of like their guy there. Yeah, I might do the same thing.
I mean, I know like a Devontae Parker was out there in like 40% of leagues, so I mean, I'd probably be playing it. That's a homer pick, but I know I'd be playing like Devontae Parker over John Brown.
Sure. Oh yeah. I mean, wait up. Look, you honed up to it. You owned up to it. Honed up. You know what I mean. Homer pick. So I think we're kind of iffy on both these receivers. Just don't expect a big game.
Yeah.
Let's go Buffalo's defense. Do you like that or no? Because your boy does not like the Buffalo Bills defense.
I don't like it.
Yeah, go to the waiver wire. Figure out there's something there,
I was like, oh, say less.
Let's talk about Green Bay playing the Washington Redskins. We'll start on the Green Bay's favored by 12.5 points. It's pretty crazy point spread. Over under 41. That means they're expecting Washington to have like nothing. Or put up nothing. So Aaron Rodgers playing against the Redskins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have
Probably
Aaron
last game
Rodgers,
starting him all year, though.
Playoffs, dude, you gotta start Aaron Rodgers against Redskins.
He's been good in good matchups.
Yeah.
Like he's last week a shitty matchup, 4 touchdowns. Forget the other big game he had, shitty matchup, 4 touchdowns. He's set and forget it this week.
You mean good, Matt? Oh yeah, shitty as in shitty.
Shitty
team.
as in like the other teams, like a terrible team.
For sure. I think you probably agree, Tyler, right?
Yeah, Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You
they
got-
said,
you gotta play him.
in his matchups that he needs to perform it or he should perform it. He does it. So.
Yeah. So let's go Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams.
I think you can play both these guys. The Redskins, not stingy on the ground. In a game where they are, Packers are favored by 12.5. They should be up. I think Rodgers, can have his way with this defense, so he can't stack the box either. So I like both these guys here. I know Jamal Williams isn't getting played in a lot of leagues, and he was actually 40% available when we did the waiver wire episode. But just some numbers on here. He's actually RB23 in PPR leagues, and he's been pretty consistent. And also the Redskins, they struggle in terms of defending the pass-catching running backs, and Jamal Williams is kind of the pass-catching running back out of the two right here. 4 or more receptions in 5 of his last 7 games, 11 or more PPR points in those 5 games. So I think you could actually flex Jamal Williams, or he's pretty much a low-end RB2 in PPR leagues. So not mad at either one of these guys.
Dude.
Hit it right in the head, bro.
Yeah.
This
honestly,
is my
gavel.
This is my tea, by the way. Mike's over here like, what the fuck is that? He's
Yeah.
like-
Because I thought it was a beer, and then I seen a bunch of shit floating on it.
I think those are limes, though.
This is
Yeah,
my-
I
this
thought
is
he
my-
had like
This
limes
fool's got
and
some
a
Dos
Dos
Equis,
Equis.
dog.
Yeah.
He's not even sharing.
This is my organic, non-GMO, no hormones, free range.
It's free range tea.
Dude, I'm trying to think of any other marketing
Dude, this-
shit that all this shit says.
This
What?
tea is grass fed.
What kind of tea? What kind of tea is that?
grass-fed tea.
Tequila.
Everything nowadays has all these like some of the labels sometimes are funny. They'll be like gluten free, like this. I'm like, bro, like
That's why Tito started doing so good.
Bro, it's
Yeah.
gum. Like, of
It's
course, there's no
gum.
gluten.
It's gum.
Don't say stupid shit like that. Be like, bro, there's no gluten. Of course, there's no gluten in this.
It's fucking chewing gum, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Freaking soda over here. What the fuck?
vegan fed water. Like, what the fuck?
okay.
Receiver wise for the Packers here, it's Devontae Adams, and that's it. I think we all agree on that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Adams.
you just can't trust any
Oh,
of
you
these guys.
taking a shot on Jimmy Graham or no?
That's gonna be a negative.
That's like you said in a matchup where I'm not gambling. I'm not taking a shot on Jimmy Graham here.
Yeah.
It's just been too inconsistent all year long. I'd rather go get the Van Stance, who's available in a ton of leagues.
Yeah,
So-
I think for most of these, you just gotta play it safe unless it's kind of like you have the upside of like a really really good matchup, i.e. These tight ends,
I.e.
Vance McDonald,
Vance McDonald.
So defense, Green Bay's defense
Don't hate it. It's
Don't hate it.
It's Haskins.
against Dwayne Haskins. Even
Yeah.
though Dwayne Haskins been doing a little bit better, I still don't mind.
He's like
it.
winning somehow.
I know he was like all celebrating when they won the other day. It's like, dude.
Yeah, I like the
Maybe that
Packers defense a lot at home in Lambeau. Like I said, they're favored by a ton. So
In
I
the
definitely like
winter
them.
time.
Washington side of the ball. I mean, you're not starting Dwayne Haskins.
I don't think it's starting anyone.
It's. I guess if you're gonna start anyone, I mean, on paper, I mean, if I knew Geis was gonna get 20 carries, he'd be like a top 15 play for me, just because I know it. Because the Packers, they are giving up 4.7 yards per on the ground, 13 touchdowns, 123 yards per game. So I think one of these guys finds the end zone, AP or Geis. It's just like flip a coin, and it's like you said in the playoffs. Am I willing to take that chance? I'm not 100% sure if I am. I mean, I'd have to be in a pinch to play one of these guys. If you had to choose between one of the two, who would you take?
I guess, guys.
I think I'd go Geis. It's just crazy because like he's only getting 12 touches a game. I know he had a monster game last week, but then a couple weeks ago he had 12 touches against the Lions, who are one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL, and he only put up 32 yards. So you just don't know what you're going to get. The outcome is just all over the place.
Yeah,
I don't know if I feel comfortable.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable playing that at all.
Yeah, I honestly don't feel comfortable with any Redskins player.
Yeah, I even am I'm almost about to drop Terry McLaurin for.
Yeah, I
Zach
kind of wanted to
Pascal.
drop him just as like a landmine for someone.
That's
Pick him
honestly,
up,
I'm not mad at
Start
that.
him.
It's crazy how he went from like this. He broke a record for like most consecutive games, 50+ yards and a touchdown streak to start your career, and then now it's just we're like, oh yeah, drop him.
Yeah. Well, what makes it crazy is there's a quarterback named DWAYNE Haskins that makes it crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Because if he had Case Keenum, still, it'd be a completely different story.
and
sure,
didn't they go to
100%.
college together?
They did.
Yeah, but he's just bad in the NFL, so
Yeah.
it's like you go from Case Keenum who's probably throwing for 250, 300 yards a game to DWAYNE Haskins who's throwing for like 80 to 100, and half of them are going to the running back. So it's like, what's he gonna do? That's enough of the Washington team. We can go to the next game.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing Redskins defense.
No.
Not in Lambeau.
You got the
Not in Lambeau.
You got the Houston Texans at home against the Denver Broncos. Houston is favored by 9 points in this matchup. You're starting Deshaun Watson.
Yep, you put Deshaun Watson in your lineup. I like
you
it.
play him.
You think you're going to play him? There's not much guys I would play over Deshaun Watson in this matchup. The running back situation, though, this gets kind of weird. What do you think, Tyler? Are you playing these guys?
I'm just trying to look up some numbers on Hyde right here because I know he was getting a ton of volume.
The last 3 games, 9 carries, 16 carries, 10 carries. That's just his last 3.
Yeah.
1 target in those 3 games. I'm trying to look at like snap percentage.
Just kind of looking at his points wise to see how he's been, but I mean the last 2 games have been pretty bad. I mean, it's kind of gross.
I'm probably saying
I think
both of
yeah.
them.
Like,
I'm not getting too cute.
I think I keep saying Benny Snell's name just because I know he's out there in a ton of leagues, but I'm probably going to grab him and
Yeah.
throw him in my lineup.
Yeah, I would do
Would
that.
you start a guy? I know I'm kind of backtracking, but would you rather start a Geis over a Carlos Hyde?
Pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I'm probably not in the playoffs
Yeah,
if I'm
don't-
starting those guys.
Yeah.
I think I'd
Yeah.
start Geis over Hyde.
Yeah, I go guys over Hyde if I have to.
That would be an interesting stat to see, like, how many, the makeup of the majority of the teams that are in the playoffs.
I guess in
fantasy
12-team leagues, because 12 teams, like some of the rosters get a little bit thinner, and especially in a dual flex.
Hyde would be like a
They-
low end RB2 for me here. Like he'd probably be like you're just playing him because you have no depth.
You're
And
hoping
he's like
that
your
Denver's-
he's your second running back, but I mean you've probably got good positions across the board like receiver, tight end, quarterback, stuff like that. So
And then to add on to it, it's like Denver's a good run D, so it's like
yeah.
That being said, let's go to receivers.
I mean DeAndre Hopkins, he should see a shadow from Chris Harris Jr. He's one of the best corners in the league, but I mean you're not sitting DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
One thing I can say is since Chris Harris Jr. is one of the best corners, like teams are kind of like targeting the other corners in these matchups. So would you be willing to gamble on Will Fuller here? I mean, you're talking about the ultimate boom bust guy. A guy can get you 30 points, or he's going to get you 5. So it's like,
Or
are you
might
taking a
even get you
chance?
0.
or-
That's a boom bust that I actually don't mind.
I don't mind it.
I have one league. I have him in a league, and my flex guy's kind of I'm in the air, and I'm thinking like I might as well just shoot for the fence. Like
Yeah.
if can the guy I'm playing get me 5 points if he has a bad game? Yeah, but can the guy I have in there right now? I don't even know who I have in there, but it's like
I think it's Mike Williams. It's like, okay, can Mike Williams give me 30 points? I don't think so.
No.
But, I mean, I think I'll take the chance that, maybe a couple extra targets go Will Fuller's way.
Yeah.
Because Chris Harris is on DeAndre. So, yeah, I'm not mad at Will Fuller in this one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think that's like I said before, you probably want to play it safe, but there is a couple boom busts that are worth starting, and I think he might be that.
He could level
one
up
of
this
those guys.
matchup to Will Fuller the 6th.
Yeah.
just complete level up. Will Fuller God, because after Super Saiyan 5 is Super Saiyan God.
Yeah.
Will Fuller God. That's his name for this week. Who's on the other side of the ball? Denver? Oh, wait, Houston's defense.
I'm staying away from Houston's defense. I know the Packers are out there in a ton of leagues, so I'd probably go grab them. Even Cleveland Browns, like you said, at home, maybe not a bad option.
Yeah, they're just not a good defense this year.
Jump on the Denver side of the ball. You're not starting Drew Lock. I think Philip Lindsay, he's a locked and loaded running back right there. I know Houston, they struggle against pass-catching running backs, so just think of what James White did to them last week. So I think, Philip Lindsay could have a monster game this weekend. I think in the last couple weeks he's been blessed. I think in the last couple games too, he's kind of taken really the reins and taken control of that over that backfield over Royce Freeman.
It's weird because he's not like taking control as far as like a snap percentage, but he's taking control of like when he's on the field. They're using him more.
They've been using him more in the passing game, I think. So I think it was kind of flip flopped in the beginning of the year. Right?
Yeah, he's averaged like 15 carries roughly the last 3 games, and then about 3 receptions the last few. So yeah, but I agree with you on the Philip Lindsay take. I was saying it was interesting because his snaps really haven't changed. It's just like if he's on the field for 27 touches, he's been getting the ball or snaps, he's getting the ball like 20 of those 27.
Yeah. I think Cortland Sutton taught you last week that it kind of doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a good enough corner to shut him down in this.
No, not at all. You can throw on Houston, so you're definitely down up court.
I mean, you have him against Minnesota where roads are open. 5 for 113. Buffalo, there was you got Tre'Davious White, and with not a good quarterback, then that's where you stay away. But you have a good matchup in this one, so I agree with you.
And I think that's it. I'm not playing Noah Kant in this one.
No.
And then Denver's defense, I'm not playing them either.
I play Higbee or Vance over them.
For sure, yeah. Next matchup, you got the Saints are at home. They're -2.5, playing against the 49ers. This could be the NFC Championship game preview right here. 44-point over-under on the Saints side of the ball. Are you dialing up Drew Brees in this matchup? I mean, he's at home, so you like seeing that. But, I mean, the Niners' defense has been pretty good.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm playing Lamar Jackson over Drew Brees.
Is it Lamar Jackson?
I forgot that's what I'm so caught up on Lamar Jackson this year that I totally forgot about that from last year. Lamar Jackson is Drew Brees.
Drew Brees?
I got one. But Josh Allen or Drew Brees?
Allen.
I think I'm going Allen for the rushing upside.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
Maybe
one
it's
thing
not
I know
a
is
good one.
last year I had Drew Brees in a league, and his playoff schedule was just money. He was like at home for 2 of the games, and in the dome for another one, I think against the Falcons, who weren't very good. And he just did not perform at all. He was like not even a QB1. I think he was outside of the top 15 each and every week, and it was just crazy. So
I think I remember hearing a stat now. Like now that you bring that up, it just like registered, where it's like Drew Brees in the fantasy playoffs for like years has just been like terrible.
yeah.
It's just like an ironic thing.
Yeah, I'm probably trying to stay away from him.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Kamara-
I'd rather play like a Darnold. Like, it sounds gross, but I'd rather play a Sam Darnold over him.
No, I don't necessarily think it sounds gross. They could just play in the matchups.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of people are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
I think most people aren't just stuck to one quarterback. It's like, all right, like
I feel like if you have Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, maybe like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, those kind of guys. But I think outside like the top 5 quarterbacks, you can pretty much stream
week to week,
and get away from a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, Kamara start, and Michael Thomas is going to break the record for most catches in a season, probably.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, you're starting both those guys. Tough matchup for Kamara, and he's actually been struggling, but I can't imagine a scenario. where he's sitting
I
there,
can't
man.
imagine a scenario either.
Yeah.
Is that what was that?
I can't imagine.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's really
He's like, oh,
It'd be nice to just see Kamara score some fucking touchdowns. Maybe because I have him in the league, and I'm just like, dude.
I know it's because you took him first overall.
I did take him first overall.
Good one,
I know.
pussy.
Wrong decision.
Should have taken.
It's okay. I took David Johnson in the first round.
At least you're not the clown slaughter. Took David Johnson first overall.
Oh yeah.
Jared Cook. I think you could play Jared
Body
Cook in this
shot.
one. I mean, outside of Michael Thomas and Kamara in the passing game, I think Jared Cook is that guy who big body guy, red zone type of guy. So I'd feel comfortable playing Jared Cook in this one. I know it's a tough matchup, but
Hey, you should.
Yeah, I fucks with it.
You should box the counselor.
I can't go to Canada.
Why not?
I think if you have a DUI, you can't go to
Oh
Canada.
shit. Yeah, they are.
Is that where
pretty
he's from,
strict.
Canada?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why he doesn't know shit about football.
Oh. I thought he was from New York or something.
You should fucking box him. I think he's pretty tall too, and I still would think you would just destroy him.
No, that nerd, yeah, 100%.
Listen, dude, we'll make it a thing. We'll do it up like
We'll,
social
like,
media
set it up
style,
YouTube.
like fucking
Hey, be
Logan
good for
Paul,
both-
KSI, fantasy version. We're the underdogs.
We're the average ones.
Yeah, that'd be
But
tight.
Dialing up the Saints defense at all or no?
No.
Yeah.
No. All right, the 49ers side of the ball, Jimmy G. I feel like he's the ultimate matchup quarterback. If it's not a good matchup, I'm not playing him.
Yeah, I don't really like this
Yeah.
matchup for him.
I think it's an under game.
Yeah.
I think two defenses, the two passing games that could struggle in this a little bit, two running games that could struggle a little bit. It's like, I mean, yeah. I'm not starting Jimmy G. The running backs we've kind of touched on for like I feel like an hour.
Yeah.
we're not too big on them this week.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, the receiver side, it's
Well, we touched on the previous one.
oh yeah, true. Go listen
Yeah.
to the previous episode.
Well, okay. Well, what we're saying is Matt Breida's questionable, but he might return.
It looks like Matt Breida's going to come back and play, so it just makes it murky over there.
Right. So, but we kind of touched on episode 55 for the Q&A episode, but yeah, it's just none of these guys is a confident play for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints are only giving up 88 yards on the ground, so let's just even round it up to 100. Divided by 3 running backs there, Mostert, Coleman, and Breida. What's the upside?
33.3.
Yeah.
You asked a question, I answered
Simple
it.
math, dude. Simple math for Simple Jack.
Simple Jack.
All right.
Kittle, you're dialing up. What about the Niners defense though? Because you said you had him in one league and you kind of faded them last week because they're playing Lamar Jackson, but you said it wasn't even really worth it.
No, yeah, because I was in a situation where I was like, I don't like the matchup, and I threw the Chargers defense in against the Broncos. It just they ended up getting the Niners ended up getting one more fantasy point than the defense, and I burned a roster spot. So it's like I'm in another one where I'm thinking, oh fuck, man, do I pick up and burn another spot again? Do I stream like the Browns defense over the Niners? But I think I'm just gonna. I think I might just stick with the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anthony is right. I think this could be an under game. So
Yeah, and I like.
I mean, if I didn't play if I regretted not playing the Niners defense against the Ravens, and then we're going against the Saints, even though their offense is pretty good, I think Baltimore's been on fire, and if they can put up some type of points against the Ravens, then I gotta play them against the Saints.
Yeah, and another thing is Drew Brees doesn't move like Lamar Jackson.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, you just look at some of the sack numbers for San Francisco's defense: 5, 4, 5, 3, 7, 3. They're basically averaging about 4 sacks a game. And
Yeah.
as good as Drew Brees is, but there's times where I've seen him get sacked and struggle when someone's getting pressure on him. Any quarterback does, but
Yeah.
So it's I think I'm okay with the Niners D, like you said.
Yeah.
If they gave me 3-4 sacks and a pick in this game, and it's like a 17-14 game, I think you're happy with what you got out of San Francisco.
Yeah. I think that's 100% right. Do we touch on these receivers, tight ends? George Kittle playing them.
you're playing them, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to the receivers here: Debo Samuel, Manny Sanders.
I'm probably not trusting either of them.
Yeah, I'm playing a Pascal over those guys. I'm gonna play. Would you play Russell Gage? Actually, what's
Russell
going on with
Gage?
Russell Gage? Actually,
I would
you're-
not. I'd probably
no.
play Manny Sanders over them. I think if I'm gonna pick one of them,
Yeah,
I'm
so
picking
who'd
Manny
pick
Sanders.
one?
What about Auden Tate?
I'd rather play an Auden Tate. He's actually been pretty consistent. We'll touch on him in the next matchup, but
Yeah.
he's been pretty
Yeah.
consistent with
Okay.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit sketched out with all these guys. I don't think that Mike's gonna pick that up, but we got a whistler, around here.
Isn't that from a commercial? He actually was.
No, it's from a commercial.
I don't know. Okay, we got the Browns in Cleveland taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The
Oh, 30
Bengals or the Browns are favored by 7.5 points. That's the most points I think the Browns have ever been favored by in a game.
It's at least been for the last 10 years, I feel like.
Yeah. And a 41.5 point over under.
Baker's side. Well, I guess we're starting with the Browns because I said Baker's side, even though I'm at Browns side. But the Baker Browns, double Bs. Baker like him this week.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much.
think he's
I think
like,
if you have Baker, you're playing him this
that's
week.
one of his better matchups.
Yeah.
like we talked about it in the last episode, I would play Baker over a couple different or you had a situation, but I feel comfortable against the Bengals. Bengals are just not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Baker. I mean, just make sure his hand's good because he hurt it.
Yeah, check his fingers.
He got stuck in a face mask.
Fingers, but-
Did you see what happened to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, pussy.
Running backs, I think you can play both Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in this one. The Bengals are actually giving up the most yards per game on the ground, 157, 4.8 yards per carry, so you can run all over them. Are you worried that maybe they just run all over them and then maybe that limits Baker's upside? He doesn't need to throw the
No.
ball 35 times and, you know, if
think
he doesn't
it's-
get a couple touchdowns, maybe he only throws for – I mean, he had that streak of where he's only threw 1 touchdown a game. Is there a possibility where maybe he throws only like 270 yards, 1 touchdown, and then, you know, Chubb and Kareem Hunt have, you know, 2-3 touchdowns combined?
No,
It's in the range of outcomes.
It definitely can, but I'm not that worried about it. I really do think that he's just gonna have enough time to be able to make plays, and I feel like the Browns know that with play calling coming into this game.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna take advantage of that a little bit. I know they have like the running backs, but I think that for sure later on it could be a running game, but I think at the beginning you'll get it a little bit.
Yeah. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, you're dialing those guys up for sure. No Njoku yet, but would you grab him and stash him next week? He plays the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, grab him, but that's gonna be hard for me to trust him coming off of like a 10-week or however long it's been. Like,
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
that's gonna
12
be hard
week,
for me
3
to-
months
yeah.
pretty much has been gone.
You just don't know what a snap percentage is gonna be right there. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I grab
mean-
him because if we see a good week out of him, we could be talking about maybe in the Week 16 matchup. If you have one of those
Yeah.
weird tight end.
Maybe grab him before the waiver wires come through, and that way you
Yeah.
don't have to spend anything on him.
Yeah.
Real quick on Baker, if when they played, he put up 3 touchdowns against Miami. You could argue the same thing that they could turn into a running game. That one he threw. That's the most touchdowns he's thrown.
Yeah.
Just food for tots.
Yeah.
Oh, food for tots.
Browns defense. You like the Browns defense, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm kind of all in on the Browns this week,
All in on the Browns.
which I don't like.
I'm not mad at the Browns. They'd be like a lower middle tier guest kind of defense from right here.
Got him in survival defense. It's streaming. You know, I got him.
Yeah. Bengals side of the ball, Andy Dalton. I mean, I don't think you're playing Andy Dalton.
Yeah, it's not this.
I guess if you're in a double quarterback league, maybe he could be your second quarterback with how much throwing.
Yeah,
there.
if you're in a dual quarterback league, I don't.
He's
hate
been
it
throwing the
with
ball
that,
35 plus times every single game that he's been in there.
Yeah. Joe Mixon, don't hate him. Don't mind him this week actually. Kind of like Joe Mixon. He's like an RB, like low end RB2.
Yeah, I like
really
Mixon
not.
too. He's just getting involved in all passing.
Basically, yeah, the part of the game.
I like it.
I guess the next two we could talk about Tyler Boyd and Auden Tate. I mean, back-to-back good games for Boyd. What's your thoughts on the Boyd and Auden Tate?
I mean, I think Boyd, you're dialing it up. Auden Tate would be the interesting and intriguing one, like a wide receiver 3 flex guy here. I think I might actually play him in a league. I think that's the guy who I was debating between Will Fuller and him. It's kind of like the safe floor, or do I go for the home run in the Will Fuller? I have Auden Tate in right now, but I think people kind of forgot when Andy Dalton was there, they were throwing the ball a ton. He actually was like top 3, I think, or he might have even been leading the league in terms of passing yards, total passing yards. So throwing the ball a ton. That Zach Taylor offense comes from the Sean McVay offense. So, they like to spread the ball around through the air a ton. Week 1, Auden Tate, he didn't play. Week 2, he didn't really play either. But week 3, when he came in there, he's pretty much, his numbers here, 13, 9, 11, 14, 9.5, 12, and then 10. Those are his numbers with Andy Dalton in a PPR league. 7 or more targets in every single game with Andy Dalton there. I mean, I'm kind of just thinking like he's like a poor man's AJ Green. He just hasn't found the end zone. He's only found the end zone once. But, I mean, if you were to throw on some touchdowns in a couple of these games, I mean, you'd be looking at some solid games here. So in a game where they're trailing, if Andy Dalton's going to throw the ball 36 times again, I would like to think that, Auden Tate should see at least 7 to 8 targets. And maybe he finds the end zone.
Little wide receiver stream from our boy T, dude. I like
T
it.
for
T
Tyler
for
Tate.
Tate. T for titties. Everybody loves tits. Yeah,
Triple
right?
tits.
Look, I didn't talk about dick. I talked about peanut.
Oh, now you did.
Titties.
Too late. You're not starting any of the tight ends or Cincinnati's defense.
Eifert? Nope.
No. Against the next, you get the Atlanta Falcons. It's in Atlanta against the Carolina Panthers. Falcons are favored by 3 points, and this is a 47.5 over under. Falcons side of the ball.
Matt Ryan.
Dial him up. Unless Julio Jones and Hooper were out, then I might stay away from him. But if you get both those guys in there, I mean, he's been pretty solid with all those guys in there.
Yeah. I mean, Carolina's defense has not been very good.
No.
So he's one of the better plays this week, I think, quarterback wise. I mean, there's a lot of backups for you to be able to play a guy that's actually, been able to do it. As Tyler would say, has been the MVP before. I'm not mad at Matt Ryan this week. Running backs.
No.
He's free, man.
He's free from my roster.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, how do you feel, Tyler?
I'd be playing Freeman here. I mean, the Panthers, they've given up 22 rushing touchdowns in the year, and that's the most in the NFL. And the next closest was 17. So they've given up 5 more rushing touchdowns than the second most team, giving up 5.3 yards per carry. I mean, they're at home. Yeah, I do like Freeman in this one a lot, actually. If I had him, I'd be throwing my lineup right there. I mean, I know we saw, I think it was Brian Hill a couple weeks ago in this money matchup. He didn't get it done, but I think the talent standpoint from a Devontae Freeman or Brian Hill, obviously that's why Freeman's a starter and Brian Hill is not. It's like the third string guy, actually behind Ito Smith, who's on IR. So
yeah,
I do like Devontae Freeman a lot in this matchup this week.
PPR, I'm okay with it. Standard, he's not scoring touchdowns. Literally 0 on the year. So it's 0 versus 22. Which one breaks?
I think you want a beer bet he scores this week? Just
sure,
fun.
I'll take it.
All right, beer bet.
All right, we got ourselves a beer bet. Receivers. I think Julio Jones is questionable, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he moved to probable. Last time I saw.
Dude, bro. Come on, I run a podcast, dude. I know these things.
He's a limited practice. Him and Hooper were both limited. I think you could start Calvin Ridley probably in this one. Especially if one of those guys misses, obviously that boosts Calvin Ridley's value. But yeah, Jones and Austin Hooper both limited in practice. I think they were saying like he almost played last week, but they were just being like cautious with him.
Precautionary, yeah. I think that. What about Russell Gage? He's kind of a sneaky guy. He had 5 receptions, touchdown, 52 yards.
Yeah, I guess if Hooper and what's his name went out, but then yeah, I guess he'd be an interesting guy to play.
Gage was also limited in practice with the rib injury. So
a lot of injuries in Atlanta.
Yeah, a lot of receiver injuries, huh? Yeah. So if Russell Gage plays, and no Julio, no Hooper, definitely. If Hooper does play, do you throw him in there? Do you feel like you have to?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay, I think I agree on that one too. Atlanta's defense. No, not against. It's like, dude. I look at that and I'm like, damn, Carolina ain't shit. But then I think about Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? So yeah. No,
hopefully you're not playing him this week.
Yeah,
because if you are
playing against him, yeah.
Yeah, if you're playing against him, you're probably eliminated.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but there's a decent chance.
Yeah, kind of. He could put up 700
just by him
points.
alone. So if you're starting McCaffrey. Wait, did we touch on everyone on the last side? Yeah, we did.
No, I was kind of touching on. Yeah. I was touching on Atlanta's defense, but because McCaffrey's there. Are you playing quarterback, Kyle?
Too inconsistent. No, not this week. It's not like I'm not trusting my playoff hopes on fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, last time they played when he was at home, that's when he threw the money matchup scenario. He threw 4 picks. So.
Yeah. I'm starting DJ Moore and not starting Samuel.
No Samuel for our boy Anthony. I think I'm right there with you, dude. Tight end Greg Olsen.
He's got a concussion. It's looking like he's not going to play. So you got Ian Thomas, but I don't know how comfortable I would feel playing Ian Thomas. If I'm not confident in Kyle Allen, I don't know how confident I'd be with throwing an Ian Thomas into my lineup. Week 1 of the playoffs.
I'm not comfortable at all.
Just in general, you need a cushion. You need a pillow back there.
I need a shower.
All right. Anything else on the Carolina side?
You playing the defense or no?
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think I'm not mad at it, I guess.
If Hooper and Julio are out, then I'd bump that defense up a little bit too.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah. Like you said, the Falcons' offensive line not very good.
Right.
Panthers' defensive line.
Third string wide
above
receivers,
average for
terrible route running. I could definitely see
Yeah.
something like that.
No time to throw, but anyone but Ridley. Possibly if Gage is questionable too. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Panthers defense, sneaky play. I like it. Let's go Minnesota. In Minnesota, taking on the Detroit Lions. Vikings are favored by 13 points against David Blanc. Over under 43. Let's start on Vikings side of the ball. Kirk Cousins. Do you like Kirk Cousins this week at home?
Yes.
It's in a dome, no weather. I mean, I think he's one of the only passing guys that it's going to be able to, like, doesn't have to battle this winter that's coming through.
Winter is not coming to Minnesota.
Right, exactly.
Well, in the dome.
Yeah, in the dome.
It's probably already
it's
there.
fucking cold there.
It's like
for sure.
20 fans at the game because they couldn't get in. Too much snow.
So, yeah, I think definitely Kirk Cousins is a top tier play this week. What do you say?
I like
top
Kirk
5?
Cousins a lot this matchup. Yeah, top 5 upside.
Yeah, I think so too. Dalvin Cook.
I mean, he looks like he's like. I mean, they're saying he's probably going to play this week. If he doesn't, though, if Madison's, he had to be picked up. But for any reason he's there, grab him.
Yeah. Would you feel comfortable playing a Madison even if Cook is there? Maybe like they lessen his workload, or are you not rolling the dice on taking a chance on Madison if like they're like, okay, Cook's active, he's playing?
I think I'd have to hear more on the situation.
Yeah.
I think it's too much of a gamble for me.
Yeah.
Like, could he have a good game? I know he's had good, like when he's gotten like 10 or more carries, he's had pretty solid games. But I mean, do they give him 10 or more carries? I don't know. I feel like they might.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I have Dalvin Cook in a couple leagues, so I've been paying really close attention to this. But I know the interview after the game, they asked him like, "Are you going to play?" And the way he made it seem was like, "Yeah, he's going to play." They were just kind of, being safe with him, so he didn't like re-aggravate it even more than he already did when he injured himself.
Yeah, and if Dalvin Cook is out, I mean, you're fine Rep Madison if you have him.
Yeah, it probably turns like a top 5 player or something like that. So.
Yeah. That's what we've been saying.
Ooh.
Grab guys like Madison. You
Yeah.
have Cook, or even if you don't have Cook, grab Madison
I picked him up this week.
this week.
Yeah.
Nice. Is it
Excited.
the one that we were undefeated?
No, it's a different one. No, I lost in like the week 3. The one that was last year. You idiot.
Anyways. So, yeah, that's the running back situation right there. We'll keep you updated to date if anything changes on that injury. But Adam Thielen, it's looking like he might not play again. He's got that hamstring injury. He still hasn't really practiced. Kind of just like, I saw a video the other day. He's just kind of like goofing around at practice, throwing the football around. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how comfortable I'd be. If he does play, is he in your lineup, though, or Adam Thielen?
I mean, in a Detroit matchup, yeah. I just think the upside with Kirk Cousins this week's pretty high. So
Yeah. I mean, Darius Slay should shadow Stephon Diggs. So, yeah, I think that would kind of just open things up for Thielen if he's there.
But even, I've been touching with Slay. He's not the old Slay as well, too.
Yeah.
He just got, even just last week, I'm pretty sure Allen Robertson 8 for 86 on a touchdown. So
Yeah.
I'm not really scared of Slay. He's not slaying anymore.
With Stephon Diggs, then, you feel comfortable playing him? Or do you think it hurts or helps him if Thielen's out?
I think it helps him.
I think it helps him in this matchup.
I think we've seen Stephon Diggs, even when he's by himself out there, he still puts up numbers.
Yeah.
I think it helps him for sure. In Minnesota, I like this matchup for Stephon Diggs. I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Oh, say less.
Listen, dude.
I was like, oh, say less.
Listen, dude. Fucking throw Stephon Diggs in there, baby.
All right, so Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, he's kind of been on a tear lately. I think he's got 5 or 6 touchdowns in his last 5 or 6 games, kind of correlated to no Adam Thielen. So I think if Adam Thielen misses this game, I think you could play Kyle Rudolph with some confidence.
Yeah.
If Thielen does play, though, would you stick with him? Maybe it's kind of like, they've kind of learned of like, okay, we can really use Rudolph in the red zone. Big body guy. He's made a couple really good catches, one-handed catches the last couple weeks. I mean, if Thielen is there...
Yeah, that was a nasty catch, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, just like
that was nasty.
Plucked it right out of the air.
I
mean, if he's there, if Thielen comes back, would you feel comfortable playing Rudolph still, or?
Yeah,
I think think I'm
No,
okay
if
with it.
Thielen comes back, I'm not looking towards Kyle Rudolph in my eyes. But if he's gone,
It's hard because it's
I
like,
don't mind it.
have they just figured out a way to use him in the offense finally? So it's like, that's a tough one.
It's a gamble, I think.
It's kind of a gamble.
But I like it in this matchup.
I'd start him over OJ Howard.
Would you start Kyle Rudolph or
OJ
Van
Howard.
Stance?
Every time I hear OJ Howard, I'm like, fuck that guy. I play Vance.
No Thielen. I'd go Rudolph. With Thielen, I'd go Vance.
I think I'm just gonna follow the trend of how bad the Cardinals have been. I'm starting Vance
I'm
over
starting Vance over
a lot
guys.
of people.
I think
I'd go Vance
tight
over.
end number one.
Number one.
Tight end number one in all of fantasy football. Week 14. You heard it here first on Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. Did I tell you about that? I didn't tell you, Anthony, about the guy from Mississippi
No.
that was at the bar. Oh, dude, his accent was hilarious. But he told me he was saying some stuff, and it was. I don't think he realized he was being kind of racist, but he definitely was. And I just was thinking,
This ain't
man,
racist. Just how I talk.
this is what he said. No, I can't say it on
Yeah,
there.
it's all fair. Vikings defense. I think you could dial them up this week at home against a third-string quarterback.
Oh, say less.
Definitely playing Minnesota's defense here. On the Lions side of the ball, though, who are you feeling comfortable outside of maybe a Marvin Jones and a Galladay? I mean, are you playing a Scarborough?
No.
No.
I'm not playing it either.
I'm,
It's a no, bro.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
bro.
not putting my fantasy playoffs with a guy named Bo. Okay, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Especially if you spell it B-O. No,
What if it's spelled
Oh.
blah?
David Blah.
Blah.
David Blah.
For the receivers, though, Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay, you like playing both these guys in a matchup where you could throw on Minnesota. I think we touched on it maybe in the question and answer episode, but you could throw on the Vikings, and
It's pretty much and all that's left in the team. I feel like is them too.
yeah, and they're minus 13. The Vikings are, so Detroit should have to throw the ball a ton just to keep up in this game. So yeah, so, plenty of opportunities should be there for Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, agree.
T.J.
You're not
Hawkinson,
playing-
he went on the IR, so you're not playing him. You're not playing any other backup tight end, and then you're not playing this defense either.
TJ not gonna see on my lineup.
Congrats to anyone who picked him up week 1 and traded him.
Oh, I know, right?
Seriously.
Yeah. Shout out to you, whoever you are, 1%ers.
You want to go over this Jets Dolphins game, the last one for this episode?
Yeah, we're at 47. We could knock it out if we knock
For
it out.
sure.
next.
All right, last matchup for this episode, part 1 of the matchups. You got the Dolphins playing the Jets in New York. He's waiting for it.
I'm only on this podcast.
I'm gonna just solo having you every team. You just do like their noise that they make, and then I'll just every time I talk about a team, I'll just play those.
it's like
It's
have
just
me
you.
like sound bites.
Just and then headbutting the mic.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
So you got the
Okay.
Jets, they're minus 5.5, home against the Dolphins. I guess we can start on the Jets side of the ball. I mean, I do like Sam Darnold this week. How you guys feeling about Sam?
I know you really like him. It's hard for me. I feel like I keep going back and forth on this, but it's just like fuck, man.
I just
don't
feel
know.
like, he's a matchup-based quarterback. I mean, he had a couple good games in a row, 20-plus points, I think 3 straight games, and then, the bad game last week on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. But I feel like the Dolphins' pass defense is just as bad as the Cardinals' pass defense. Like, if we're willing to stream these quarterbacks against the Cardinals' defense, any given week, I think you could do the same in Miami. I mean, we saw Baker have his best game of the year
yeah, 3 touchdowns
against them. Josh Allen had a monster game a couple weeks ago against them as well. I mean, Carson Wentz, he was struggling too.
It is in
even
New
though they
York.
lost, he still had a pretty good game against the Dolphins pass defense as well. So
Is it snowing in New Jersey?
I don't know.
I feel like it.
I look like a weatherman?
Because it was snowing last week when Green Bay played there.
Facts.
So
Yeah, I mean, I do like Sandra. I do have some worries though. He's like just really inconsistent when it comes
Yeah.
down to it. Even in good matchups, the New York Giants 230-1, Miami last time 260-1, Jacksonville 218, 2 and 3 interceptions. Then you go to Washington, he was 293-4, Oakland 315-2. Last week against Cincinnati 239-0. There's the Gase factor and the inconsistency factor, even though I like him. So
I like Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold.
yeah, I'd probably go that route too.
I like David Blah. No, I'm just kidding.
It wouldn't surprise me.
David Blah. I just like saying his name, David Blah. I mean, I like him over DWAYNE Haskins.
I like Sam Darnold. I think he'll be a top 10 player.
I like
this
him over
week.
Jimmy G. I do like him over.
I mean, he has
Drew
top 10
Brees.
upside, but like I said, he's just inconsistent.
You are rolling
There's-
the dice. Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
little bit of a dice roll here. With
I'll
it.
just take how bad Miami's pass defense is. That at home he could get it done. Like I said, a revenge game for Adam Gase. I think they go out and they win this game again
I was like,
for Adam
oh,
Gase.
say less.
I don't know.
Le'Veon Bell, I think you're dialing him up. He hasn't been the sexiest play all year, but he's
I
been
think
pretty
in the
consistent.
cold, in the cold, running the ball, good. Miami bad run defense.
Dude, you hit the nail right on the
I
head.
try to say that sentence with the least amount of in between words.
Nice. What about the receivers here? So you got Jamison Crowder, who's kind of fallen off the last couple weeks, and then Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson, I feel like Robbie Anderson's hand in hand with Sam Darnold, like just kind of on and off.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
That-
dead on, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Say say less.
I think I just this week. I mean, this is like ideal matchup for him. What did Robbie Anderson? I think he might have been out. What? No, he wasn't.
No,
what
last
what did
week
he
he
put
had-
up? What did he put up
He's
when
had,
he
like
when they
two
played?
back-to-back pretty good games. 4 for 86 and 1, 7 for 101.
But I'm saying, what did he put up last time they played Miami? He put up 4 points, 2 receptions for 33 yards. That's in good weather.
Yeah. But I think he said it was correlated to Sam Darnold not playing very well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just some numbers on the Robbie Anderson side of this one. He's like a boomer bust guy, but I'm going to take the chance on the boom this week in one of my leagues. But the Dolphins, they've given up 10 touchdowns on throws of 20 or more yards down the field. That is the most in the entire NFL. And since 2017, Robbie Anderson has the second most 20-plus yard touchdowns behind only Tyreek Hill. And then just some more numbers on how bad the Dolphins' pass defense is. They've given up 29 passing touchdowns. That's the second most, just behind the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of how I was saying, like if you feel comfortable playing quarterbacks or players against the Cardinals, I think Miami's in the same boat, hand in hand with them there. So
Damn, dude, you're selling
just
me
some
on
good
Robbie
numbers
Anderson.
there. I'm going to take a shot on him. I'm going for the home run.
Home run. Might as well call you Sammy Sosa.
Well, with that being said, though, I think he's out targeted Jamison Crowder the last couple weeks, 15-14. I think is what I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, PPR wise,
That's a lot of targets.
is Jamison Crowder a guy because he's had these monster games, but I think it's kind of correlated
he's
to
like-
him
I-
seeing such a high volume in the
I mean,
target
a double
area.
flex league, wide receiver 3. I could see you throwing Jamison Crowder in there. I mean, we touched on, somebody asked about DJ Chark or Jamison Crowder. There's a couple different guys like that I would play. All these random receivers in Kansas City, I'd rather play Jamison Crowder over them.
Yeah.
I'd play him over Auden Tate. Maybe. Play him over Manny Sanders or Debo.
Yeah, probably playing him. PPR wise, I'm probably playing him over them. Like I said,
Yeah.
Miami's pass defense
Over
is not
McLaurin.
very good at all, so I feel confident playing these pass catchers for the Jets.
Yeah. Not mad at it.
What about Robbie Anderson? I mean, not Robbie Anderson, Ryan Griffin, tight end.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were
Yeah.
going to say.
I probably trust him the
you got
most
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
out of all Jets players.
I think he
He's
finds the
playing.
end zone probably,
Yeah.
so
I like it.
I like it. I
like it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Testosterone.
We got Shasharon high today with Ryan Fitzmagic. How do you feel about Ryan Fitzpatrick up against the Jets? Is he your guy this week, Tyler?
Is he a guy?
Is he a guy? Is that beard gonna come in hot? Is he hot like Hansel?
For me, Fitzmagic, I think he's going to have like a Jameis game. So I think they're going to be behind because I do think the Jets and Sam Darnold, I think they put up some points on the Dolphins. We just said how bad they were. So I think he's going to have to chase. We can't run the ball. Kalen Ballage, he's on the IR. He's out for it's just like Patrick Lard now, Miles Gaskin.
Dude, don't bag on the Lard, bro.
Yeah, he's our McCaffrey.
He made
That's what we're
someone
saying.
miss.
We're saying he's our McCaffrey. But
Our running back, I haven't seen fucking anyone make a player miss because we've had, what's his name, running for so long.
Kalen Ballage is terrible.
Like,
He's
oh,
averaging
there's
like 1.9 yards
Our
per
running back
carry.
can juke someone?
But the Jets' run defense is really good. They're only giving him like 3 yards per carry, like 70 yards on the ground. But we can't run the ball anyway. So I think Fitzmagic throws the ball probably 30, 35 times this game. I mean, I think he can get you a ton of yardage, a couple touchdowns, but, he might have a couple picks as well.
Yeah, he had 288 and 3 against them last time. I actually think we beat the Dolphins beat the Jets. And I
think so.
You know me, I've never been pretty much every week I'm like not a homer of Sunners, but I just think I think we beat the Jets this week.
Yeah.
The Jets really know how to lose games. They gave Bengals their only win.
I mean, Adam Gase is a shitty coach.
He really is.
Just straight up.
He not good.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you guys touch on everything Miami-wise?
I mean, you're not
Nice.
playing any of these running backs. And then Devontae Parker is just a set it
guy.
and forget it guy. Yeah. Three straight green rated matchups.
You're not playing Albert Wilson or
No.
any of these guys?
I mean, Devontae Parker, 10-plus targets, 4 straight weeks. I mean, we saw last week the potential he has. If Fitz just, throws him the ball and what he can do. So he's a set it and forget it. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 upside each and every week, I think.
She was horny. Yeah. Miami's defense?
Negative.
Negative.
What about Gesicki? If you're going to pick one of these tight ends, Ryan Griffin or Gesicki, who would you lean towards?
Suck me, dude. I ain't playing him.
I mean, I was kind of thinking about the other day, like, we have no other pass catchers, really. I mean, Hearns, Albert Wilson, they're not really, some you're going to throw in there. I was thinking about that year when Fitzmagic was on the Jets. He had Brandon Marshall, who's kind of like the Devontae Parker, I think, in the offense, and then Eric Decker, who was pretty good. And I feel like Gesicki's kind of like the Eric Decker of this offense, almost like another big body guy where, he's kind of Fitz. If Fitz will just give you the opportunity to go throw it, it's like what pass catches are going to score a touchdown? Devontae Parker, and then after him, who is it? Our running backs aren't going to score. So I wouldn't be mad at Gesicki. I think I'd actually favor Gesicki over Ryan Griffin. In this matchup.
Very interesting.
Interessante.
You would favor Mike Gesicki over Ryan Griffin?
I think I would, yeah.
Damn. You love the Dolphins.
I do love the Dolphins.
We got anything else for you guys? No Miami defense. That's it. All right. This has been the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, episode 56. Matchups part 1. We went over a bunch of games for you. Hopefully this helps. It's playoffs this week. Playoffs? Yeah. Man, good luck. I'm if you're in it, I'm happy for you. If you're not, why the fuck are you listening to this? Thanks for listening. Once again, give us a subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. And that is it. That's all I got for you. Thank you and good night. Bye.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
It's me,
It's me.
Felipe Rios.
It's me, your mother. Tu madre.